Friday. Have another big game on the road this week against Arkansas Razorbacks. It's a team that, the last 5 times we played them, we've only won one game. That was the year we had Cam Newton, and it was a offensive slugfest. It's a very tough place to play. They've had a week off. And I know that extra week will, help prepare them. I know our week off a few weeks back was real pivotal for us, especially being, a first-year coach here in our program. So we know we're going to have our hands full. We know we're going to get their best effort. Regarding the film exchange issue that was brought to my attention yesterday, just will say this: we'll always operate with the utmost integrity in everything we do. If there's ever anything I don't know about that's brought to my attention, we'll deal with it in a prompt manner. The SEC office is aware of all the details on both sides, and that's all I'm going to say regarding that.
Because Coach Bielema had said that this was an issue he was aware of for a week and a half. Was this something that any other team has raised to the SEC office?
No, that's all I'm going to say. I've already addressed it.
Real quick, Coach. The audio is overmodulated. He's got it on the line. Sorry.
Let's just talk about this offense and kind of the progression it's made. What's been the most impressive thing to you about watching these guys perform?
Well, I think each week we have improved in our execution in the run game. The fact that we've had, 3 different running backs all do a solid job. Our line has done a very solid job. And then the fact that our quarterbacks have been able to run too. I think that has been the biggest factor.
How's Nick doing?
He practiced Sunday. He'll practice today. It's day to day. That's really all I know right now.
Are you looking forward that Nick will be able to fully participate in practice tonight?
What's that?
Are you looking to do you think that Nick's going to fully participate in practice tonight?
Well, we hope so. I mean, it's day to day right now. I mean, the fact that he was out there practicing Sunday, I thought was a positive. And like I said, we'll know more each day.
Yes, it appeared that he first injured himself on a run in the first quarter. Were you aware of that at the time on the sideline?
I was not aware of that. After the game, obviously things were brought to my attention that, he tried to run the guy over. Of course, we got to do a better job of, educating him on when to get down and get out of bounds.
Are you anxious to go back and coach in your home state?
This will be the 4th time that I've done that. And so, the first time or two, it was definitely different, but I don't expect it to be any different than the normal game on the road.
Yes, you say that, but in those 3 previous trips, you have yet to win back in Arkansas. Just is there an extra pressure or additional emotion involved?
There's right now with where we're going each week, we're trying to do everything in our power to win, and it doesn't make a difference if we're going to Arkansas or going to A&M or anywhere else. There's enough to it without anything else added to it.
Is it tough to kind of rein a quarterback in from when he should, try to make the extra couple yards like on the goal line or versus that other play?
Well, anytime, like I said before, you have a quarterback that didn't go through spring, and you're still learning about him. And Cam was the same way. There was times that we had to tell him to get down and stuff like that. So there's no doubt in my mind that Nick will learn from it and be better for it next time.
How do you kind of rein that in, but also encourage it a little bit? Because, the players responded and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a great competitor. There's no doubt. You'd rather have to pull him back than ever have to prod him on. So, he's a great competitor. He's a tough guy. And we just got to be a little bit smarter next time we're in that same situation.
Heading into practice today, how do you expect the reps to be split between Jeremy and Nick with the first team?
We're going to go about it normal way, and we'll see what happens.
Gus, it was pretty obvious that back at SEC Media Days that you and Coach Bielema had some philosophical differences in terms of offenses. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of where it ends there? Is there a respect for each other or a rivalry there, or where's the relationship?
Yeah, we'll just be completely honest. When I was standing up for our no huddle, it wasn't directed at any one person. Matter of fact, at the time there was a lot of people that was coming out and saying stuff regarding that, and I was just standing up for our philosophy and what we believe in on that. As far as he's concerned. I mean, he's an excellent coach. I mean, look at his track record. And I've got a lot of respect for him, and he's won everywhere he's been, and I know they're going to be prepared. And he's also got a very strong staff, with him.
I know you don't want to touch on, the film thing and everything, but I guess just looking at it, it looks like maybe he's using a little gamesmanship. Is that?
I've already
that's not your
addressed,
style, is it?
I've already addressed that.
Okay.
Do you personally get, I know you kind of have a pretty even keel at practice and during week-to-week preparation, but do you personally get a little bit excited for big games like this, whether it's your home state, playing a friend, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think if you ask our players and our coaches, I get excited no matter who we're playing. I try to be very consistent. This is a big game. I mean, we going on the road, another road test for us. Like I said, they've had a week to prepare, extra week prepare, and that definitely concerns me. And so we expect it to be a tough one.
Do you have more family and friends than usual friends coming to this game? Or?
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah, I mean, my parents, my wife's parents, a lot of friends. I mean, like I said, that's where we grew up.
What have you seen out of their defensive front? Seems like the strength there.
Tell you what concerns me. They're one of the best, if not the best team in the conference. Getting after the quarterback. They're very explosive on the ends. They're very long. They do a good job with their pass rush. They've got a very solid defensive front.
We talked a lot about the offense and their production the last few weeks, but what has been the biggest turnaround you think as this season has evolved for this offensive?
Well, we say every week about getting better and executing, and I feel like we have as far as the little things, execution. I mean, we're still not there yet, but we have improved. And anytime you can run the football, that opens other things up, and so far we've been effective running the football.
And it's always been effective in your first season as an offense coordinator. I mean, you've made big leaps in offense from the previous season. Why is it? Is it easy to adjust to, easy to acclimate to?
I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of good players to coach in new situations. This situation is no different. Our players have bought into what we're trying to establish. We've got, very good coaches that are teachers, and the players are responding to them.
As part of how that production has occurred as the offensive lines play, is this the biggest challenge they're facing collectively as a group? Is the Arkansas defensive front collectively the biggest challenge they face thus far?
We face some good defensive fronts, but getting after the passer, this may be the best one. They can flat out rush the passer, and they've harassed just about every quarterback they play.
With that in mind, who's the starter at right tackle?
We'll know by the end of the week.
Is Patrick practicing this week
Yes, he will practice.
with the first team?
We'll kind of mix and match like we've done before.
Guys, as you go along and the great season that you're having, the pressure I'm sure will continue to increase on these players, but the confidence level that they're getting every week, will that override the pressure that maybe they might feel?
Well, I would say this. They are getting more confident each week, but each week presents its own challenges, and especially in this league, you got to be prepared each week. You've got to improve, and that's been our message. I know I sound like a broken record, but our only focus is Arkansas, and we know we got our hands full with them, and we're going to have to improve from our last game.
Because Kyle tried to downplay going back home as well, but as a guy who obviously you recruited and went through Springdale and everything there, and now the position change and everything else, CJ had mentioned that he thought it would be a very big deal for Kyle to go back and be a pretty emotional trip. What have you seen from Kyle thus far this week, and what do you think it'll mean to him to
Well,
go back home?
he's been back one previous time, but I think that goes for all players that are from a certain state. Anytime they go back home, it's a special deal.
We talk a lot about the hurry up no huddle. What is your biggest selling point when you're recruiting guys to play in this offense? Is it the stats? Is it the fact that so many players can get the ball?
Well, I think it's all of the above. I mean, I think any recruit's looking for an offense that will, showcase their skills, and they get more touches, and you look at the different stats for different positions. There's been success at each one.
Coach, it
seems like Trey Mason has been the picture of consistency. Last year, even with the record, he still rushed for over 1,000 yards. This year, he's splitting reps between two other guys, and he's still racking up the yards. What is it about him that makes him so successful, you think?
Well, he's a veteran guy. He understands blocking schemes, but probably the biggest thing that's impressed me this year about him is his ability to make the first guy miss, and his yards after first contact. I mean, he's really gotten stronger. He's very durable, and he's made a lot of tough yards for us this year.
How comfortable are you if Nick is limited in any way whatsoever, in having Jeremy play on the road in this kind of environment with him in such a big game?
Yeah, the good thing is that Jeremy has gotten 2 games of experience, and the big challenge will be on the road, but he's got a lot of reps. Even when we played on the road, at LSU and Texas A&M, when you throw the sound in and everything, like, he's got a lot of reps during that time. So I got to believe that will help. He's a pretty calm guy too. I know our offensive players have a lot of confidence in him, and I know that's very important.
Do you have a timetable when you want to make a decision regarding your Nick and his status?
Well, you'd like to as early as possible, but I think, anytime a guy is day to day, you get out there on the practice field and you see what he can and can't do. And then, so, the sooner the better, but at the same time, it's hard to say right now.
Can you talk about the receivers and how they've been blocking, what part they've had in the offensive success with the running game?
Our receivers have gotten better each week, specifically in the blocking area, and that's very important to what we do. They've gotten more consistent with catching the football too, and I think that's very important. And that's a group that's improving, and we're going to need them to keep improving.
Is Brandon Folks going to be available to play this week?
It's possible.
Gus, I know yesterday was your birthday. What'd you do to celebrate?
Not much. Just the same routine, really.
Yes, a couple of weeks ago on the conference call, just brought up your year in Arkansas. You mentioned that Todd Graham really was the first one to give you a chance to control an offense by yourself. A lot of us took that to be a kind of subliminal shot in a way at Houston and your experience there. What was just such a negative part of that?
Well, I'll just say this. I mean, I'll be forever grateful for Houston Nutt for giving me the opportunity to get in college football, especially being a high school coach. And, high school coaches are looking for opportunities. So I'll be forever grateful for that.
Any other questions? All right, Coach, thank you.